This video is brought to you by True Tales of Buried Treasure, the largest collection of old treasure magazines in the West. On our website, you can search for individual treasure stories by region or by our original magazines themselves. To pay us a visit, please click on the link in the description. Enjoy.
In the enchanting world of the 1880s, a whimsical Englishman named Edward Turnley, blessed with both opulence and a taste for revelry, found himself immersed in a cozy pub indulging in frothy ales. As the sixth pint coursed through his veins, a fantastical notion took hold of his mind, igniting a fervent desire for both wealth and merriment. A few sunsets later, he embarked on a voyage to the distant shores of America, traversing the untamed frontiers until he reached the nascent state of Kansas. There, amidst the arid plains of Harper County, he acquired 1,700 vast acres of desolate land plagued by prickly cockleburs. The price he paid, $1.50 per acre, was no trifling sum in those bygone days. Little did Turnley fathom this was the genesis of a most peculiar treasure trove, harboring around $1,000 in molten gold, a fortune that would appreciate manifold in present times. With his land secured, Turnley fashioned a ramshackle abode, which he whimsically christened the Ranch House, in grand moments of self-importance. Through missives and newspaper proclamations dispatched across the English shores, he declared himself the sole proprietor of a township christened Runnymede. For a princely sum of $500 per head, he extended an offer to the sons of affluent and titled Englishmen, promising them a comfortable settlement in the bosom of Runnymede. Within those hallowed grounds, Turnley pledged to instruct these young scions in the art of prosperous farming, teaching them the secrets of cultivating bountiful gardens and the intricacies of cattle husbandry. He assured their education would not be forsaken, vowing that they would soon blossom into formidable physical specimens. At the culmination of a year, these sons would return to England as well-rounded gentlemen, aflame with an ardent pursuit of vast fortunes, armed with their newly acquired wisdom. The promoter also noted it would be an extraordinary chance for young women to come to America, though he was not explicit about just what opportunities awaited them in Runnymede. Hundreds of young Englishmen arrived, each with hundreds of dollars in gold for spending money. They needed it, for soon large numbers of girls from England showed up at Runnymede, and they weren't interested in learning how to farm. Frame houses and porched stores were built. Soon, Runnymede had the reputation of being the roaringest town in Kansas. Gold, specie, and silver was spent like water, with fortunes changing hands nightly on the turn of a card or the flip of a coin. Great freight wagons rumbled through the cobbled streets each week, carrying barrels of fine whiskey, which flowed freely at never-ending revelries. The air was thick with excitement as steeple-chasing races and grand boxing matches captivated the hearts of all, their outcomes wagered upon with fervor. One of the young Englishmen, blessed with a handsome inheritance of $15,000, embarked on a whirlwind of merriment, financing a spree that the town would never forget. As the year drew to a close, news arrived from across the sea, urging the Englishmen to return to their homeland. Among them was a youthful gentleman, now adorned with a noble title and blessed with considerable property, who received a farewell gift of $1,000 in shimmering gold and silver. With his precious fortune safely tucked into a satchel, he joined his comrades in one final night of revelry. Under the moonlit sky, as the intoxicating spirits coursed through his veins, exhaustion overcame him. Driven by a heavy slumber, he stumbled away from the dance, clutching his satchel and sought refuge in a weathered barn. Weary, he ascended to the loft and surrendered to the embrace of sleep. But fate had a cruel twist in store. In the dead of night, the barn became a raging inferno, devouring the structure with insatiable hunger. Within a mere hour, the flames reduced the once sturdy haven to smoldering ruins. The inhabitants of Runnymede, armed with long-handled rakes, rallied together, tirelessly sifting through the debris in search of the Englishman's lifeless body and the gleaming treasure he carried within his satchel. Charred pieces of the body were raked out of the ashes and rubble. Piece by piece, they were collected. They were carried to a fresh-dug grave, dropped in and covered. For a short time, men and women raked the ruins, seeking to uncover some of the gold specie. They failed. Most believe it melted during the fire and was buried by the constant raking. Shortly after, Runnymede folded up. It had existed but a few short years. Many years later, an Englishman recalled the town. The place was located about 12 miles northwest of the town of Harper. The grave was never marked, but it was close by the barn, he said. It is doubtful if ever modern-day metal detectors have searched for this little-known trove. A treasure hunter who was persistent might well uncover it, as well as other caches or lost coins from an earlier day.
Thanks for watching. If you'd like to read the original article or purchase the magazine from which it was taken, please check out our website, truetalesofburiedtreasure.com.